Good morning, all. Alan, Punam, I hope I said your name right. Thanks for joining us. We'll probably give people just a couple more minutes to join us. I guess the thing that I'm really excited about today is Belinda Botzlina, I think her name is. I hope I said that right. She's a property valuer in Sydney, joined TikTok 3 months ago. And has gained 40,000 followers. So yeah, she'll be joining us about midway through the segment. So I just wanted to remind you guys about that. That's, yeah, pretty excited to talk about her, and obviously super fast growth, but yeah, just hints and tips, what she did. I'm really looking forward to chatting with her. So yeah, no, that's really good. I guess I've connected with quite a few people, just to give you a bit of context around the type of people that will be in this room. So I've started my business to help businesses get on TikTok, so mentoring and coaching. We have a variety of packages, but this is one of them in terms of a free webinar. It's good to just add value and showcase some of our clients that we've been working with. But yeah, I do a lot of my own lead gen in and around Clubhouse and LinkedIn and Twitter and stuff like that. So so it's a bit of a mix of the people in the room, and the format. I'll probably just quickly go over the format. Thanks for joining us, Aaliyah. Hey, Ellen, good to see you, mate. I can see your video there. Feel free to turn the video on or off. It's up to you. It's not required. Makes it easier when I can see people's faces, but that's all good. But is that okay? Can you hear me okay too with my earphones and stuff? Just maybe give me a thumbs up, Alan, if that's yeah, okay. So the audio sounds good. Yeah, Aaliyah's just joined us. Thanks for tuning in. So I basically just give a couple more minutes, 1 or 2 more minutes for anyone else who's joining us. But we do have a guest speaker coming in about midway, close to about 11:20, 11:30. She is a property valuer based in Sydney. Joined TikTok about 3 months ago and gained 40,000 followers. So it's not about the metrics. It's not about, I tell you the metrics to give you an example of what is available, what she's been able to do. And so even for her, it was quick growth. I've spoken to her a couple of times offline, and she said, she works in a large corporate property valuing company, like a big, large corporate here in Australia. And so she doesn't feature it's basically her giving advice. She does not speak on behalf of the company. So she's thinking about, okay, how can I make this worthwhile for me? So yeah, definitely stick around for her about 11:20, 11:30. I think she'll log in, and I'll just ask her a couple of questions, and then we've got Q&A. Anyone who's got any questions as well, you can just ask. Feel free to, if you got any questions now for her, maybe just put them in the chat, so I'll know that I can ask those questions, or you guys can ask it as well. But feel free to put just some information in the chat in and around your questions and stuff. But I'll just quickly go over the format. So I'm going to try and keep it tight. So it's 1 hour. I know people are actually quite busy, so I just wanted to keep it short and sharp. This is an introductory webinar to TikTok, if you like. So obviously the introduction, I'll start soon. 11:10, I'm going to go over why TikTok is different to other social media platforms. And then 11:20, so from 11:20 to about 11:30, I'm just going to basically go over 2 core things that I believe is important when starting off. And so these webinars are going to be a series over the next sort of 4 weeks. I'm going to do sort of 4 different types of content, building up to the point where, okay, people are fully equipped. I mean, anyone can start posting now if they wanted to, but I just felt that, speaking to my clients and people that I've been talking to, they actually want a step-by-step guide. So that's the 2 topics I picked this morning, was how to create an account and choose a name. So you might be here and you already have an account, or you have a name, that's fine. It's still going to be relevant to you in terms of, the branding and stuff like that. And then the second topic is how to build a profile so the algorithm recognizes who you are. And generally that's around people that you follow. And also consuming content on the platform. So those are the 2 topics, and then we'll go into guest speaker. Belinda is her name, from Sydney, Australia. And yeah, we'll probably chat for about 10 minutes. then we'll do a bit of Q&A, which I think you guys are probably interested in that. And then we'll round it out. So hopefully that only goes for an hour. I've actually got my phone here too. So the way that the format will work when we're going through how to use the TikTok elements, I'm actually going to share my phone on this webinar type platform. So make sure you have your phone handy, because as I'm doing it, I'm going to share it on the screen, and you might be, if you feel inclined, you can do the same thing looking at your phone at the same time. So yeah, I think that's all the basics. Let's just see. Did anyone have any questions, or feel free to just, if you want to unmute and just ask a quick question, or I'm just going to jump straight in, maybe just put it in the chat. Let me check the chat to see if no one's written any questions, so that's all good. No worries. I'm just going to kick it off. Feel free to just put anything in the chat if you have any questions and stuff like that, like I said. But basically, introduction to TikTok. So I basically have 4 years experience on the platform. So I did start on the platform when it was called Musical.ly. So that was 2017. I have 4 years user experience, about 2 years with Musical.ly, 2 years with TikTok. The reason I started my business was I can see a gap in the market where it's a different platform, basically. So the number one mistake that business owners and professionals can do when they look at TikTok from a business or a professional point of view is to treat it like another platform. So as an example, a lot of people, from what I've seen, not only just sort of anecdotally chatting to people, but my clients, they will think of, oh, this is just another Instagram, potentially another Facebook or YouTube. I'll just say right now, that's the worst thing that could happen. It's just the mentality. It's so different. And you might have heard that before, which is kind of okay, I guess. But the one thing I want you to do is just strip back all preconceived ideas of what this platform is. Again, this is one of the top 2 objections that I get from a lot of clients, and just, again, anecdotal conversation with people is, isn't it an app basically for teenagers and dancing, right? Is the number one objection. And again, we'll go through some case studies there where I like, when myself and Belinda start going through some of the profiles, you can see how professionals from different industries have utilized the platform for their own benefit and actually leading to sales eventually, right? And so that's kind of my belief, that there was a gap in the market. There are other marketing companies now that are coming on board and offering it as a product alongside, Instagram, social, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, which is great. I actually specialize in TikTok right now. So I do, one of the other ways that I get clients as well is I partner with other existing social media marketing companies. So right now, next Friday, a company that I've partnered with here locally in Queensland, Brisbane, they have quite a few high ticket price products, or clients rather, that sell high ticket products. So one's a swimming pool construction company manufacturer. So there's 2 of those companies that this company, I guess, they just provide social media marketing services to them. They've been long-standing clients for them. So the owner is going to pitch them TikTok, and then if they agree, then I'll come in as a consultant and do that for them. So that, I guess, that's just a bit of a background as to how I got to where I am and why I believe TikTok's a very different platform. So that will be my number one recommendation. Whatever you do today or going forward with TikTok, is try not to think of it as an existing platform. It's actually a totally different beast. And so that's kind of an introduction, I guess, in terms of, why I set this thing up. And I honestly and truly believe, my packages that I actually present for clients is, I have a TikTok starter package where I set people up for success. Like, that is a very low cost entry product to starting TikTok, but I give enough information there that literally my belief, especially for busy business owners, which I'm going to explain in a sec, people can actually do this themselves. Literally, one of the things that I always say is you can create 3 high quality videos, 3 to 6 high quality videos in less than half an hour a day. Now, it comes with a bit of experience, obviously. That's why I hope these webinars will help you with all the free resources that we give out. But literally, I believe, and I actually want that to happen, because I love TikTok so much. The reason that I'm so passionate and speak with conviction about TikTok is I have seen, and even with my clients, so many examples where if you tried this on other platforms, it just simply would not work. And that's not to say those platforms are bad or they don't work. It's basically the number one thing, which I'm actually going to go into right now. The number one difference with TikTok, right? And feel free to just grab your phone now if you got it and look at TikTok, pull it up. There's two streams, right? So moving on to my second point here, why TikTok is different from other social media platforms is 3 words, is the For You page. So the FYP, For You page, which is an abbreviation, For You page, is the secret sauce, is the largest reason why TikTok is not only different to other social media platforms, but why you can build an audience so quickly. The For You page. So basically, think back to what your social media experience has been. Typically Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, or not so much YouTube, but maybe just Instagram and Facebook. Think about the feed that you see, the people that are on there. Who are those people? They're literally the people you know that you've actually connected to, right? So in a way, it's quite limiting in terms of if you have a business or a service or a product that you're trying to get in front of new audiences, the social media platforms are smart, is you have to pay to get in front of those audiences. With TikTok, you can do it for free. Now, how you do that for free is you have 2 streams on TikTok. So you have it's kind of weird saying this, the traditional social media marketing feed, which is it's called following on the left-hand side of when you log into TikTok. So on the left-hand side, it's just, I'm just going to pull it up now so I can see it. So I'm not talking out of school. So on the homepage, which is the bottom left-hand corner, is you click on the homepage, you're going to have 2 streams at the top. So one is following. Think Instagram, Facebook, that's the people that you follow, right? There's also studies that show that I think it's close to only 30% of people actually just stay on the following page, right? The For You page, it's called For You, basically, which is your For You page. That's where every single user, 800 million users, TikTok to date, users are on that page. They literally could see your video without paying any money, right? Now that's very powerful when you think about businesses, professionals, branding, the amount of attention, the eyeballs that could see your video, whether you're telling a story, whether you're long-term branding, whether you're literally selling a product, there's a lot of eyeballs that can get on that. The key here, right, is to be consistent and try and stay on that For You page, which I'll break down a little bit in our second segment, the basics rundown, how to build a profile that the algorithm recognizes for you. But that, in a nutshell, the For You page is the secret sauce. That is literally, in a nutshell, when people ask me, why is TikTok different? Why can't I just use Instagram and Facebook? Because of the For You page. With Instagram and Facebook, to get in front of new audiences, you need to pay. You need to boost posts. You do ad campaigns, which typically speaking, if you're a large corporate, you would hire agency to do that, right? Or you would just, if you would just do it yourself, you would just pay money to boost the post, basically. So you would just probably write the content yourself, do the video, and then you just $25 a boost or whatever it is, right? So for TikTok, that is why I'm very passionate about it. One, because of the ability to get on that For You page, but the second thing is, and I'll just touch on this lightly before we go down cover the basics rundown, how to create an account and account name. The thing I love about TikTok too is the way you get on the For You page. So without going too far down a rabbit hole, to get on the For You page, there's a series of, and these have been documented, and there's case studies around this, how to actually get on the For You page. Now, in my mind, it's basically community verification, or it's social validation. It's, do people like your videos? And there's a few metrics, right? That if your video is strategically set up, as an example, it's a 15-second video. In the first 3 seconds, do you have a hook, a question, or a statement that's going to hook people in? Because the first 3 seconds, if you don't capture that person's attention, they're just going to scroll off, which is fine, right? It sounds a bit sort of salesy and tactical, but in all reality, if you have value that you want to share and you fully believe in it, package the statement or the question, it's called the hook, the first 3 seconds, right? The other thing is a trending audio, which we're not actually going to cover in this session, but in the next session next week. Attaching an audio is very important insofar as getting in front of larger audiences. So to get on that For You page, obviously you want to set up your video with a nice hook. But like I was saying, the community validation verification, depending on the response of how people are commenting or liking or sharing your video, this will tell the algorithm to share your video with a larger amount of people. So on traditional social media platforms like Instagram, YouTube, you got to pay to get in front of more people. If the creative is confirmed and validated by the community, like there's a particular amount of comments per, if you've just started, they will just expand that reach to a smaller geographical location, right? And then if there's further metrics to say, oh, these people are actually engaging with it, they're sharing it off platform, because you can track that in TikTok. This is all AI driven. Your video will then be shared with maybe further people, not only geographically, but they have metrics like, oh, maybe this older person might, well, not so much older, but someone who has been engaging, as an example, in an industry where they're looking for wedding products. Because I know Punam's here, she's a wedding planner. So if your videos are they have content. Let's just use this as an example. I hope you don't mind. I'm just using your business as an example. But if your videos have like not only hashtags but also oh, thank you. If your video has hashtags around like wedding planning or photography, something related to the industry, and you do that same video with the same hashtags, one video a day over 10 days, it's going to start educating the algorithm. Okay, I think this person is trying to not only market towards people that are looking for these type of products or services. I think these videos actually add value to someone who has either interacted or indicated that they want wedding content, right? But this is it's all AI driven, right? So that's why it's very sophisticated and it changes quite a lot. So anyway, so that's just a very, very brief. I could like talk on this thing for hours, right? But a very, very brief why TikTok is different from other social media platforms is that For You page. So all of your activity, all your behavior, right? If we're talking about trying to get in front of more people at a cheaper rate, rather than paying Facebook, Instagram, SEO, which are all great, and I always recommend continue to do that. But think about dialing down that budget maybe, and then just spending a bit of time in TikTok, because you can siphon away an audience and opportunities from TikTok onto your main product. So in a nutshell, that's why TikTok is different from other social media platforms. So next up on the segment, I've got the two topics that I want to talk about, the basics rundown. So how to create an account and choose a name. So what I'm actually going to do is just share my phone here, and I'm just going to create a dummy account so I can just literally just show people how to do that. So if I just share my screen here. Okay, so already on TikTok, I think everyone can see that. Give me a thumbs up, Alan, if you can just see my phone account. Thanks, Matt. Awesome. Cheers. So that's my account. I'll just pause that. So scrolling up and down, those are the videos. Just quickly, briefly, the following page. So that's the following page there on the left-hand side. If I click on that right one there, that's the For You page that I was talking about, where 800 million users on TikTok are basically living, right? So if I click on the Me, which is the bottom right-hand corner, I click the top, the name at the top, so Malaki SFL, that's my account username. I want to go to the bottom, add account. It might look a bit different for you for the first time. I think what happens is it'll just ask you to, you'll get to this page, right? And what you do is that bottom, don't have an account, sign up at the bottom there. What I usually suggest is use an email. That's the easiest way to do it. I'm just going to put in my birthday. I think the reason why they ask for the birthday is just for age verification. I think you need to be, I think the last time I checked, it was like 13 years old to make an account. It might have changed since then. Click email. So see how there's phone and email. Don't worry about phone. Just go email. I am going to use my wife's company email because I've exhausted all my other email accounts to create a new account. So I just put in an email verification. That's pretty easy. So the most important thing here is, let's quickly put in a dummy password. So the most important thing here, I think, and I think this is going to add value to people who are looking to start an account, is this username. And what do I name it? is not really important when you first start. The main thing is to get an account and just start, right? So for my wife, she's a teacher. I'm just going to put create username and see how it says you can always change this later, right? So I'm just going to put teacher Queensland, basically. Let's see if that's available. Teacher Queensland, that's pretty easy, right? So my wife, who's a teacher, this is sort of a side note, she is very passionate about teaching, and we have a family account where she talks at nauseum about teaching stuff, right? So that's why I just thought about this as a real example for your business. You might put your business name. I would suggest this, and this is what I say to all people when I'm either prospecting or talking to clients, is go down a path of personal branding. Now, what I mean by that is with this platform, you can create a business account, but then it becomes a game of selling your products and selling your services, because that's what the account is, right? And more often than not, you would need to pay quite a bit of money for ads to get in front of to market that product or service, right? It is doable. I won't go into detail how you do it here, but my suggestion is always go down a path of personal branding. Why? Because it's easy to think about content when you first start up, right? So anyway, my wife, she's a teacher. So I'm just going to click sign up. So see at the top here, when it asks to sync contacts, I usually say no, just because I don't want to follow people that I actually know that are in my phone, because that might tell the algorithm, if this person has been on TikTok for a while, it might actually tell them that I like their type of content, or this is the kind of content that I want to see, where I don't really know who, people who could be on my phone for 5, 6, 7 years, right? So Teacher Queensland, basically, right? Now you can change them whenever you want. So that's sort of a nice little entry, if you like. And that's just the ins and outs. That's the basics of how do I create an account and then choose the name. So I would just to wrap to finish this topic, I guess, before I go on to how to build a profile for the algorithm that recognizes. Don't get too hung up on the name, because you can always change it. I would just pick something that's if it's not your name, because I use my name. If you don't want to use your name, use something like Teacher Queensland. Like as an example, Paul, who I know who's on the webinar right now. I think he's in the health industry. He sells products in the health industry. He could say like health expert with a number on the back or something like that, or whatever the product is. In terms of is it a moisturizer, or is it a protein shake? You could say protein shake expert, right? Like you could, if that's the type of content that you wanted to do, right? And then, for Alan, I'm working with Alan right now to get their TikTok account up and running. So what I've suggested to Alan is we have a personal branding approach for him. So he runs a utility. I think it's a business where they provide cost-effective options for power and services and utility, and it's a monthly subscription, and basically they guarantee the cheapest price month to month, right? Based off the providers, they go through and check all the service providers, and then they just recommend you either change over, or this is the cheaper one month to month option, right? I hope I didn't butcher that, Alan. But basically for Alan, so what I'm working with Alan right now is we go down a personal branding route. So for him, we're gonna to start off, we're gonna do a podcast next week, right? Which is my podcast. Now, the reason why I suggested that is once I do a podcast with him, because he's virtual, he's in another state to me, right? So I can't just drive down the road and capture content. What we're going to do is a podcast, and from that podcast, I'm going to chop up 10 to 30 videos that then I can post on his personal branding page, right? Now, the reason why that's very cost effective and quick is I'm going to come up with the questions. I'm going to preface the questions, right? Because I'm going to do the research. And I'm going to do videos, like a 5 video series, a 10 video series on, I hope Alan doesn't mind sharing this, because I've spoken to him about before, but he has a background in the energy sector in Australia, but he also was a farmer, I guess, before he came into that industry. So in my mind, based off what I know about TikTok, and particularly that industry, there are a lot of farmers that are on TikTok, which is great, right? So in my questions, when Alan comes on the podcast, I'm going to be asking him questions about farming, right? And that's a 5-part series. how did you grow up in a farm? What is involved with farming? Was it cattle farming? Did you get to milk the cow? Like, I'm just thinking of, like, you know, questions that it's going to allow Alan to answer. Then I'm going to capture that content, and I'm going to have 10 to 30 videos that I can just post on his personal branded TikTok straight away. Now, I hope I didn't lose anyone there, but just follow the ball down the road. The reason I told that is that that's just a very, very easy way to capture content, visually speaking, about your personal brand. If you're struggling to find ideas, that's a really, really easy way to do that. And so that's why I suggested to Alan as well, particularly because he's like, we're not in the same state, so we can't geographically catch up. So that could be one way, right, of capturing, because you might be thinking, oh, what type of content? Like, how do I create something like how do I start my TikTok account? Just first of all, I always say personal branding, talk about your life experience, and talk about you know, your industry. That's a very, very easy, or what are you an expert in? Or as an example, back to Ponam, you're in the wedding industry, like and I'm pretty sure you've done this because I'm following your account and I've seen your videos. You could do a 5-video series on how do I pick a photographer? I'm getting married soon. Like, as you know, however you would edit the video, a 5-video series. How do I pick a photographer? Video number 1, is budget a concern? Video number 2, do you want a videographer? Number 3, location, beach, sun, or like rainforest, rain type. Video number 4, do you want do you want family photos included? Do you want like photos of just the wedding itself, the ceremony itself, and the reception? And then question number 5 could be, these are my recommendations. Now, see, in those 5 videos, you've spoken about potential pain points for your prospective clients, right? And you're giving advice and you're adding value for free in an industry that that you're an expert in, right? And so it's the reason I use those examples as real life examples is I'm just trying to get you guys to think about, okay, how, like, move away from what type of content and just think about, oh, okay, I can talk about these things forever because, you know, I know these things. I know me, I know my experience, I know my journey, I know my industry. So yeah, in a nutshell, that's how you would start off creating content in that, and how you build a profile that the algorithm recognizes. I've run out a little bit of time here to talk in depth about that, but essentially what you need to do is, once you create your profile, is you need to consume as much content as possible. But what I would suggest is follow creators that are already in your industry. Now, I'm happy to, after this webinar, just flick me an email or a DM or however we connected, just send me a one comment word on what industry you're in. And I've already got a list. I've self-curated 11 pages of all different types of businesses, all types of professionals, where I can just send you like 5 or 10 accounts, and I would suggest follow them straight away, because what that's doing is it's telling the algorithm, okay, this type of person, as an example, back to Paul in the wellness industry, if I just send him 10 profiles of people who are like PTs, gym owners, people or videos who are doing weights. So it's curating a profile for Paul because he's following them. And then as he consumes content every day and he's liking and he's engaging with the comments, the algorithm is building a profile to go, okay, I think this profile here, Paul's profile, is interested in health products in the health industry, right? And so that's a quick and easy way to do that. I'm happy to do that for free. Just, yeah, feel free to email me. I can do that after this webinar. Email me or send me a message, and I can just, I've got a list of about 11 or 12 pages that I've just been adding businesses to, excuse me, over the past year as I've found them on TikTok. So thank you guys. Thanks for, yeah, that was just a sort of short, brief introductory to TikTok. I'm just going to, it's 11:30, so I think Belinda's, oh yeah, she's in the waiting room, so I'm just going to bring her in. This is exciting. Let me, am I still sharing my screen? I am, hey. So if I go stop share, there we go. So we are all back. Let me just introduce Belinda before she comes in. So I've got a bit of a blurb here. So Belinda has a degree in property economics, has close to 20 years experience in the industry. Initially ventured into the world of TikTok as a creative release in March 2021, so 3 months ago. Started off posting about her life, personal branding, kind of what I was talking to you guys about. After 5 videos, basically, she was quick to start posting videos about her experience in the real estate industry. She has quickly amassed over 40,000 followers, right, in 3 months. And her last 12 videos has an average of 20,000 views per video. Now, the reason I talk about metrics, again, is not so much vanity metrics like, wow, she's so great. It's more about from a business perspective, she didn't pay for that attention. She didn't pay for the eyeballs, right? So I'm just trying to put out their stats around the platform and what people can do, right, for free. Now she's basically looking for ways to leverage like her audience and possibly monetize. But she's right now, her key is to build loyalty through engagement with her community. One of her videos has 435 comments, right? So anyway, that's just a brief view behind who she is and stuff. I'll just quickly bring her in. Remember, any questions, just put them in the chat. But I've enjoyed the time so far. I hope you guys have, and I can't wait to bring Belinda in and we can chat to her about her journey. Just admitted her in. I didn't even have a break to drink water or anything. Got my little setup here. I think Belinda's in. Still on mute. And video's off, which is all good. There she is.
I have to flip my, hang on, how do I flip my camera?
Oh yeah, that old trick, that old chestnut.
I have a brand new computer.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to flip. This is embarrassing. Hello.
No, that's all right. That's all right. Take your time. That's
video settings.
I'm just looking at the settings on my end and thinking, can I do that from my end? I can't. I can mute you and unmute you, but I can't.
Because when I went to set it up, it was facing the right way.
Yeah.
I might
log out and log back in.
No, I have to go into and flip it one way. Hang on.
Yeah, you're right.
Camera. How's everyone's morning going? At least, can I at least ask how that's going? Oh, we have these technical difficulties.
Everyone's basically been on mute, and I've been flabbergasting for, is that the right word, or been a chatterbox for the past 30 minutes. Alan's got his video on and he's giving me the thumbs up every now and then, so that's good. Oh, Kefi's there with him as well.
Okay.
So I'll just, are you the type of person that can listen and do stuff at the same time, or? Oh,
yes,
there we go.
Can.
You gotcha.
Oh, hi.
It's working. G'day.
Oh, I was flustered and yeah, guys.
It's very stressful too. Like, you know, when, yeah, you're trying to.
I know. And I was setting up and I'm like this angle and this angle. And then I went live and it's not even facing the right way. So.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. Hey, so I've been talking for about half an hour about just basics of the TikTok. I've already given a little bit of an introduction of who you are, but what I might do is I just quickly might give a 10-second intro to each person. So it just gives you a bit of context on the type of people that are here. So Alan, whose video is on, he's one of my clients at the moment. So I'm working with him to get his TikTok account up and running from a personal branding point of view. He is the owner of Energy Empire. So they provide a subscription service for cost-effective options for monthly utility for businesses and residential residents. Yeah, personal use. Paul is in the health industry, health and wellness industry. There he is. Got his video on. And Poonam is, I hope I'm saying her name right. She's a wedding planner. I think she's also based in Sydney. There she is. So Poonam's already on TikTok. We've had a few conversations about her business and stuff. I think it's like a side business from what I remember. And then Aliyah, I actually saw that she entered out, we've got a form on our website that she requested a free resource. And so I'm not sure if we've actually formally met. Maybe we have on Instagram we've been DMing each other, but I'm not actually sure what industry she's in. feel free to put your industry in the chat, Aaliyah, but thanks for being here as well. So basically that's just in a nutshell who everyone is. But apart from technical difficulties and stuff, how are you this morning?
Yeah, I'm good. I had an inspection nice and early, and it was a beautiful, not quite waterfront, but it had amazing water views. So you get some really, really nice properties that you inspect, and you get some real shockers. So
yeah,
today was a good day. So yeah.
That's good. That's awesome. Hey, before we get into the nitty gritty of just like tactical TikTok, I usually start off with like a bit of an icebreaker. The questions that I sent, the 5 fast facts that for people just to get to know you. So you're ready? Okay. Are you a coffee or a tea person?
Coffee.
Nice. White chocolate. Question number 2: white chocolate or normal chocolate?
Cadbury chocolate, normal milk chocolate, all the way, the way.
Right. That's good to know. Question number 3: are you a cats or a dogs person?
A dog. Definitely a dog.
Dogs through. Question number 4. So rate from 1 to 3. So 1 being your favorite or the best in your opinion, and 3 being the not best. Tim Tams, Vegemite, and Bunnings Snag.
So it's a tie between a Tim Tam and a snack, because I'm not a Vegemite. I hate Vegemite. What? Sometimes I gorge myself on Tim Tams where I eat the entire packet, and then like I can't look at Tim Tams for the next 6 months.
Yeah.
And then same goes with the Bunnings Snags, where I'll be like every weekend it's like, let's go to Bunnings and then get the snag, and then I'm over it. So
yeah.
It's more 1 and 2, and then a very, very long 3 for the Vegemite.
It's kind of like equal first, and then what is? I mean,
equal first, yeah.
Can you be Australian and say you don't like Vegemite? Like, that's kind of un-Australian, isn't it?
I know. I think I need to have a ratio of like 80% butter and 20% Vegemite.
Oh, yeah. It is very strong.
I can't. Yeah, my kids don't like it either, so I don't like it and they don't like it. I'm like, well, the apple, the tree,
Yeah, gotcha. That's awesome. Final question: Android or Apple, and why?
I've always had an Apple phone. I don't use Apple for work.
Yeah.
In terms of computers, but I've got an Apple phone, and you know what? They get you, those Mr. Apple people, because you got all your apps on the phone. So then when you get a new phone, you want to continue using those apps, and it's just easier to, get a new Apple phone and so on and so forth. So Apple it is.
100%. My mum's the same. She is a Apple person through and through. She's the type of Apple fanatic though, that if you say anything bad about her, she's like basically attacking you, saying it's the best thing since sliced bread. But I get it. It's convenience.
That's it.
It totally makes sense. Thanks for that. So let's just jump straight into it. This is the first time I've actually spoken to you in person, right? So I'm excited.
That's right. Yeah. Hi.
Thanks for agreeing to catch up. Like, this is great. I found you on, so again, I to give you a bit of context, I was talking about the For You page and why that's the secret sauce for TikTok. I found you on the For You, basically, right?
Okay. Which video was it? Do you remember?
That's a great question. I cannot remember. Hey, for the life of me. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or it actually might have been. Do you comment on videos?
I do. Yeah. I really, really like commenting.
I might have.
Maybe a comment.
I might have actually seen the name, TheValuer. I think that's what it would have been. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting.
Yes.
I think that's what it might have been. Because I'm very curious about that. Like, because I get in the comments too, and then I see people's, I'm like, oh, let's click on this, and then all of a sudden, like, yeah. So that's cool. So I just a brief introduction. I sort of explained who you were before, but you're in the real estate industry as a property valuer, 20 years experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you only joined TikTok 3 months ago, but you have close to 40,000 followers. And the reason I tell that metric again is the power of the For You page. So I've created a business, an agency where I want to help coach and mentor businesses get on TikTok because of the attention that's there, right? And some stats like your last 12 videos has an average of about 20,000 views per video. So from a business point of view and professional point of view, being able to market services or product or long-term branding is crazy, right? So that's that bit of an introduction. The question: how did you? The reason I asked this question is it might inspire someone else to, as a real life example, to get on TikTok and create. How did you find out about TikTok?
I started TikTok, believe it or not, the beginning of 2020, I guess, when COVID kind of hit. And I was just like, what is TikTok? What is it? Like, is it just a bunch of teenagers dancing? One or two videos of me just at home with the kids. And then I did watch it. Are you there? Sort of cut out a bit.
Yeah, it cut out a little bit for me, but I think it said my internet connection's unstable. You're good now though. It was just a little bit there. It was a bit choppy. I heard beginning of 2020, and it was a few dancing videos, and that was about it.
Okay. Yeah. So so I heard about it. I guess yeah, it's a bit choppy.
Oh, it's very choppy. Sorry.
Yeah, just the beginning of 2020, I joined, and I did like a video at home with the kids, right? And it was more just to see. I was more of like a ghost user, and then I would just kind of jump in every now and then. I had one of the kids dancing and one of me being silly. I had this cool trick where I can make my eyebrow go up and down, and
That's very impressive.
I did this. Yes. And I pretend that I've got this magic trick. Anyway, that didn't do very well on TikTok. And I was a ghost user for a while, just more the stalker type. And I think I was building a house, and I was very active on Instagram. And I heard Jackie O from Kyle and Jackie O, because she's got a young child, and she kept saying, Kyle, it's not just 12-year-olds dancing. It's actually pretty cool. There's some pretty cool stuff on it. And then I was like, I might give it a shot. And that's when I started doing just a couple little videos. I have a very meticulous job. So it's very professional, very rigid, very, we have so much rules and regulation. And I felt that when I started TikTok, it was a bit of a creative outlet for me, just to sort of, because everyone thinks a valuer is just not what I kind of look like. I'm knocking on the door. Oh, you don't look like a valuer. I'm like, well, what's a valuer supposed to look like? So, and it's a lot of misconception, like valuers undervalue everything and all the whole thing. So I was like, I'm going to break the mold, and I'm going to show people that valuers actually kind of a bit more fun, and we actually know a lot. And I wanted to showcase that. So.
That's amazing. I love that. And I'm sure people can relate in terms of when you first started, you heard anecdotally someone say, look, it's not just 12-year-olds dancing, like there's legitimate businesses and professional advice on there. And the fact that I guess, what was the aha moment? What was like you already said, I did a few dancing videos. I like what you said too about that you were a ghost user. I've heard that from a lot of people too, is when they start, they'll have like a spam account, if you like, that's what they call it. And they'll either just not post anything and they'll look at videos, or they'll just make like dancing videos, stuff like that, which is fine. But what was the aha moment, I guess? Like, just, I'm sure there's people here that are wondering, like, they might be in a similar position. Like, what was and maybe just talk about, I was scared, or what was the fear, or you kind of already touched on it now, but what was like the turning point where it was like, no, I'm not going to do a professional video now?
It was, for me, it wasn't scared. I'm a little bit of a show off, if you will. I don't mind getting in front of the camera and chatting and stuff. It was more that I started posting these videos and people were responding and they were asking me questions. And I was like, oh, okay, that's a pretty cool question. And I'll respond to that. And then I was like, oh, that's a cool idea for my next video.
Yeah.
And then I would do that and I'd get questions and I'm like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool for my next video. And then it would kind of go over and over. And, what I found was there's so many people out there giving property investment advice or invest here and use these strategies. And I thought, you're not even qualified to give that advice. Like you maybe bought one or two properties in the open market and got lucky in your investments. Now all of a sudden you're an expert. And I thought, well, I'm the expert, I've got something to add. And I think a lot of what they do, these companies, is they give you breadcrumbs and they'll give you just enough information to then go, right, I'm going to grab you and bring you in and then sell you all these strategies on property investment. And I've gone, well, I'm just going to not give it for free, but you're going to get almost from the horse's mouth, if that's the right terminology, where I'm going to tell you exactly what the banks want to know and how do you invest and what are all these questions that people kept asking me. So as a professional, I guess, and I had to be careful not to, sorry, someone just came home. I was like, oh, who's that? So it was not just about doing, it was just answering questions. And I thought, yeah, there's a lot of people out there giving advice that aren't qualified. So I thought, how about we hear from someone that is and just see how we go. And that's how I started.
I love that. And in terms of relatability, like I'm just thinking of the people that are here, like Paul in the health industry, Alan in the energy sector, Ponam in the wedding planning space. And we've already touched on this, but you just confirmed it, is expert advice. Like you just said, okay, I know what I'm doing in this industry. I have value. I believe that I can give value because I've walked the talk. Yeah. And I love how you said that. And I'm just thinking about, Alan, Paul, and Poonam, you guys can literally do that with your industry, right? Like, and what was the process, Belinda? Was it literally like, I got to set up like this studio, I got to pay thousands of dollars to someone record me? Like, what was your process to, that literally?
Hi, I'm Belinda, and I'm, that's it. I don't have a ring. I don't have, as you can see now, I don't have anything sort of set up. And you know what? I think that is the real beauty of TikTok. Like I have an Instagram account and Instagram is so polished and so structured. And that whole Instagram versus reality and all that. I think TikTok is like, it's raw and people appreciate it when you're yourself on TikTok, when you're just talking crap or not talking crap, but I'm a bit, I'm kind of as you see, as you are type person. I don't kind of, want all that fluff and sort of stuff you get on Instagram. And I think on TikTok, like you can post 5 videos a day. And if they're all crap, then the next day you can learn from that and then just go, okay, well, I didn't get a kind of good response of that, but at least I tried, and that kind of didn't work. And okay, well, I thought my viewers were going to respond well to that. They didn't. Big deal. Where on Instagram, it's on your page and it doesn't look good and you didn't get enough likes and, people freak out about that. Where on TikTok, you could go from like 1.5 million one day to 300 views the next day. It's no big deal. It's not a personal thing. You just move on and you just do another video. And I think authenticity and just being yourself and coming across just genuine is better than like a whole fake facade and perfect lighting and, looking like a TV ready commercial versus just standing there and going, hey, do you know, these are the top 3 tips I think for investing, blah, 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 blah. You should try it. Boom. And it is what it is.
In your kitchen or in your lounge and literally like got the, I love that. I love what you said about 5 videos a day. I personally believe that too. I usually say 3 to 6 videos within half an hour you could do. Very achievable. And so I love what you're saying about 5 videos a day. But then the low barrier to entry in terms of how do I get in front of audiences, particularly if you have value. I love what you said about in comparison to other platforms. And for me personally, I don't really have anything against the other platforms. I just love TikTok that literally there is no barrier to entry in terms of I need a deep pocket to hire a fancy videographer. I need a studio.
Not at all.
Like literally you just explain, then that's the thing I'm passionate about. That is if people have a message, particularly in business and services, and then if eventually it leads to sales, that's great, which it can, right? There's strategies around that. But based off what you're doing and what you said, like I just love the fact that there's like 0 barrier to entry.
Yeah, it's really like it's easy. And I find that I don't know how the algorithm works or whatever, but it just sort of hones into your target audience anyway. Like I'm not getting teens or, very young viewers that are watching me. I'm getting a lot. I have to admit, a lot of my followers are ghost followers that might be like mum or dad, and they're like, look, I got no interest getting in front of the camera and doing anything, but I don't mind jumping on TikTok to see what's there and having a look, and that's what I think and I'm okay about. Like every now and then someone might have, oh, that's an interesting account, and I'll tap on it. Most of the time it's like user 18754342287. It's, you know, a blank photo or just a generic photo. And that's, you don't know, you don't need to have, you know, people of accounts to follow you. It could be anyone, but the algorithm somehow it hones into people that find your account value. And when at the beginning I would find like I'd had 148 viewers, and then I'd lose a couple and get, oh, what am I doing wrong? Who cares? You're not kind of doing it for, you know, some of your videos do well and some don't. You're kind of like, oh, okay, I'm not doing it for the views. I'm just doing it to help and put my message out there. And if you think like that, then you don't get so disheartened and you don't think like you're just trying. You just like, well, it is what it is. You win some, you lose some. Sometimes you think it was a great video and you're like, wow, I spent so much energy on that and it flops. Well, it doesn't flop, it doesn't do well. And then you do another one where you just spin something off the top of your head and you're like, oh, wow, that's trendy. How did that happen? Oh, well, you know, it is what it is. So
thanks so much for touching on that too, because I touched on that a little bit before you came into the room, was the AI driven algorithm puts your audience in front of you, right? So you have to be a little bit consistent about the content that you post. But I love what you're saying is TikTok will find the audience for you, right? And but then it's community verified, right? Like people start engaging, people start commenting, and then that's how you built up your following. So that, thanks so much for sharing all that. And I was just thinking, because we only got about 5 more minutes left, I actually pulled up your profile. Do you mind? Because I know we were going to react to some of the other videos, but I just want to show as a, if you don't mind, social validation. And I want to go to one of your videos. Yeah. Is that really me? Oh no. I've just got the video here about your grandma's house, I think it was.
Oh, that one was weird. That attracted the weirdest comments, but yeah, I just did it. I was at my grandmother's house and it's a true story. So yeah, play it.
Is there actually, do you have a recommendation? Yeah, because the reason I want to look at some of your videos is actually look at some of the comments and just sort of, oh, okay, this is the information.
TikTok comments are like crazy. There's no filter.
Yeah.
And I was kind of getting, you know, what do you know? You know, that, and then people getting really personal because they take what you say and you just say something really general and they feel like you're talking to them. So then they're like, that's not right. You know, investing in property, not everything, you know, the government, and there's a lot of like political talk. And I'm like, dude, I'm staying right out of that. That's your opinion and you can say whatever you want. But, and I'm like, how did you comment? How did you take that from what I posted and spin it into that type of comment? Like, how did you go from there to there in the same video? And it is what it is. There's all types of wonderful people in the world that make the world go round. So don't take any of the comments personally and don't bite back at any of them. So yeah, you can play that one.
I've got this one here.
And there's another one I think your viewers might like, and it was like when I tell people I'm on TikTok and the different type of characters I made, and it was my mom, my work colleagues, my husband, and just.
Is that the most recent one? That's not the most recent one.
That was I was only done like a week or two ago. So
grandparents' home. 20 years old. Now crypto. I'm on TikTok. Is that the one?
That one.
Yeah. Let me. Okay,
that was a bit of fun. That was a bit of fun.
Share screen. I think that one. Share. Just give us a thumbs up, Ellen, if you can see it.
Yeah, that one.
Oh, cool. So I'm not sure if the sound.
And I use some Instagram filters to make it a bit of fun.
What was that, sir?
I use Instagram filters.
Oh, okay.
When you see my face change.
Right.
It's just from Instagram. So it's you can record on Instagram and then save it to your phone and then upload on TikTok.
Smart. I'll just while we're on your profile, so this is Belinda's profile. And you've just put property value or registered tax agent in your bio, right? Which is what you are.
Yeah.
And then these are just for metrics sake, right? Like you probably this is the most recent video. You uploaded that like maybe yesterday or something like that. Last night. There you go. So, and you know, it has 40,000 views. So again, I'm trying to bring attention to the possibility for businesses and professionals, the type of content that they're creating. You can really build a personal brand around it, right? So 10,000 comments, 10,000 views, sorry. So this number here is the views per video. 20,000.
And I try and, you know, because some of my topics are a little dry on property, I'll put like a headband or like some earrings to try and distract or make it a little bit more interesting. And I'll do I mix it up. I try and do some like videos that are trending, use trending music. Some are educational where I talk. And others, like I'll give proper advice, and others are just a bit of fun, like the one that's going on now. That was just a bit of fun. So
ATO doing an audit on your tax return, which is, I'm just going to press play. Can you hear it?
Yes, this is a voiceover. No, I can't hear it.
No volume.
There you go. Yeah, so it's a voiceover.
Just trying to see, how do you share the audio as well?
I think you just turn it up because I could hear it very low.
I've got earphones on. Okay, I've taken the earphones out.
Oh my God, what is that? Oh my God, what is that?
Can you guys hear that?
It's a bit sketchy.
Oh,
it's like not, the mouth is moving and the audio is coming through a bit later. So
sorry, but I mean, the reason I show that video is basically you're speaking about something that you're an expert in your industry, right? And you're telling it in a creative way that people are engaging with. Like there's 30, I can't click into it, 36 comments, right?
Yeah. And I try, and I think a lot of the value add too is I do try and comment to a lot of my reply to a lot of the comments too. And I try and do it in a way that, you know, this video that you're clicking on, like I just drew that on a piece of paper and I explained it because I felt that is the most simple way to explain capital gains tax. You know, so that's something I feel I'm an expert in because I'm also a registered tax agent. And I could sit there and, you know, sound all smart. Like, oh, capital gains tax, work out your cost base, and you just zone out. Like it's just something I feel like here I am, I got a picture with a stick figure called Charlie, and Charlie purchased the property for this much. But if I show you a visual and speak about it, I feel like then it just clicks a little bit. And, you know, this isn't, look at it. It's just handwritten. It's not fancy. It's not graphics. It's not, and it got something like 200 and something thousand views. I did another one on negative gearing and it got 1.3 million. Like it just goes to show that you don't need fancy stuff. You know, if people find value and simplifying a complicated topic really easily. And I found the other thing too is you got to get people's attentions quickly. So even if you have to redo a video 100 times, but say the same thing, just try and not hesitate. Like don't stop and think, because you stop and think about what you're saying, people and they'll scroll. So that's why a lot of my videos are stop, start, stop, start, stop, start. You can see that they've stopped. It's just that if I talk in a long period of time, I lose, because I don't write any scripts. I just talk because I'm so busy with work. I would be like doing something like, oh, capital gains tax. Did you know capital gains tax, pause, is the best way to pause, because I'm thinking and I don't want to hesitate. So I'll just pause it and then get my train of thought and talk versus just long-winded conversation and it's just a bit slow and thinking. It's just making it fast. And if you have to just chop it, you know, and then sometimes I change my angle around a tiny bit.
I love what you're saying about storyboarding, because it can get a bit convoluted, or it can be a bit of a, I'm spending hours on the storyboard. Just get the phone out and start talking to it, and then
just talk.
You can just,
and that's where your 5 videos a day work. I mean, I'm so busy with work, I'm only posting sort of 1 or 2 a day. But when I first got into it, it was addictive. I was like obsessed. I was like 5 videos and you know 4, and it was fun. And I do like a whole day of videos, for instance, and then save them in my draft. And then I'd have a whole bunch sort of up my sleeve, and I'd be like, okay, just release that as my days went on. And that was, but like I said, like look at that video. It's like, it's raw, it's, you know, it's messy, but you know, I've got some things where I've written over a few times, but you know, even if in spelling mistakes, it's fine. It's not perfect and it doesn't affect your brand per se. Like I had one and I spelt young wrong. I put an E on the end. I didn't even notice it because TikTok don't have spell check when you write.
Yeah.
But I upload my photos to
Don't tell anyone.
Instagram story, add captions, save it to my phone, and up. Like there's a process, but it saves me from typing and getting spelling mistakes.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I put an E, and it wasn't until I showed my husband, and he goes, "You spelt young wrong." I'm like, "No, I didn't." And I did, damn it. So it's fine. And you know what? Sometimes people pick it up and they comment you, so it might spark a little bit of conversation and trend your video a bit more. So
yeah.
Whatever, right?
Bit of a tactic. I like that. Hey, Poonam.
Or it's your, not your.
Stuff. Oh, that's a big one. Actually, I always get that one wrong. Poonam just asked a question. Belinda, I noticed you've used the same cover for all videos. Is there a reason for that?
Just so I think because I am not an entertaining TikTok, I am sort of an educating or value add TikTok. So I find like, you know, if you're scrolling through and you can read what each one of my videos are about, and not just that, but if you maybe came across one of my videos and started following me, and then you want to tell a friend, oh, that's the girl that did that video on capital gains tax, and I'm like, oh, which video was that again? Oh, there it is, because it says capital gains tax. So, you know, or I'll just put like a few keywords for what that video is about. And then anybody at any time, because sometimes you might be on their For You page a week or two later, depends on how the algorithm works. And they're like, oh, there's that chick again that talks about property. She did that cool video. And what's that video about again? Oh, that's right. And then they can go like the grandmother's house. I've literally got grandmother's house. So they'll be like, or they might be upset with one of my videos and feel like they want to tell someone about it. I'm like, that's the girl that said that the grandmother's house something. Oh yeah, whatever. But it's an easy way for people to find what. And I think for me, it was just nice that it's all consistent.
Yeah.
It's all the same.
I like what you said. It makes it easy for other people to come in if they find your video on the For You page and they go to your profile, and you've already hooked them in with a particular piece of information, they can see, oh, something else related, capital gains tax, or how do I get a home loan, or something. Like there might be some topics that they want to look at. So I like that. Yeah. That's great. Hey, thanks so much. It's 12:03. I'm pretty conscious of trying to keep things on time. I just thank you so much for coming in and just, sharing with us your journey. And it was awesome to catch up with you officially, I guess you could say. And we'll no doubt be in contact after this. But thanks for joining us.
Yeah, and at any time, guys, if anybody's got any questions, I'm happy to. You know, it is what it is. So
that's awesome. No, I appreciate that. Thanks everyone else for joining us, Alan, Poonam, and Paul. I'll be in contact after this. And again, I'm always open for questions and stuff like that. But I hope you got value. I'm going to be doing this on a weekly basis, so it'll be a bit more complex week on week. And so I hope you got a bit of value, but I'll be in contact after this. So I'm going to go ahead and finish it off because I know people are busy, but thank you so much. Really appreciate your time, and I'll chat to everyone soon. See you guys. Bye.